Hey there, I'm Janine. This is Janine Sews, and this is episode 4 of Friday Sews on Janine Sews. Today is Friday, the 1st of December, 2023, and today I'm going to tell you about what I've sewn, what I've been working on, a few things that I've picked up, and a little bit about life. It's been a fairly productive week in the sewing room. I finished one project, which I'm wearing, and I almost finished another project that I'll tell you about. But right off the bat, I told you about this pattern and I showed you this fabric last week. This is Butterick 6788, and the fabric is double brush poly that I picked up at Fabric Mart last year, I think. I don't usually wear black because I find that it washes me out. But I liked the festive print, so I bought it anyways. And now I think seeing it on me, the red kind of brightens up my skin a little bit, so it's not as harsh on me as just a plain black top would be. Again, this is double brush poly, which is something I love to sew with for winter tops, just because it's so cozy and it's stretchy and it's comfortable. So I had originally used this pattern in November of 2020. And I made 2 tops then, recorded a video. I think I linked these last time, but I'm gonna link it up here again. And until I pulled out the pattern pieces, I'd forgotten that I'd done a bunch of work last time I made this up. So I had previously done a high round back adjustment. I added an inch to the center back seam, because this has a center back seam, which is just great if you want to add some shaping to the back. And I shaved off a little bit from the shoulder, sleeve head and the shoulder. So starting with that, I made a couple of other changes. Oh, last time I lowered the bust darts. This time I did not. I put them back up to where they were. Apparently I must be wearing better bras these days. This time I did make a couple of small changes. First, I added 1.5 inches to the length, and then I added an inch to the sleeve length, because I'm starting to notice that sleeves are too short for me. I guess I've got long arms. And this time I used the sleeve flounce. And the sleeve flounce was designed to be just a single piece of fabric that's folded over and hemmed. I just think that looks really chintzy. So I doubled up the sleeve flounce. And now it's warmer, and I think that it looks so much more substantial. But this is a nice top. I like the shape of it because it gives me a little bit of shape. It gives me a little bit of a waist where there isn't so much of a waist. And as I've said many times, that's one of the things that I'm really looking for in patterns these days. I'm going to come back to that in a second. I'll definitely use this pattern again, probably many times. Although it's got a little bit of a unique twist with the darts on the side, I don't think it's so different that someone would say, gosh, you always wear that style of top. So this was a quick make, and it went together really fast, and I had this done early in the week, which was a great win and one thing to check off on my Christmas sewing to-do list. One of the other projects that I told you I was going to prioritize this week is my party dress. We have a Christmas party next Saturday night, and then I need a new dress for the holidays, so I'm making one dress. And I showed you the pattern I was going to use, which is the Alien Mac Heart and Soul twist dress, and this fabric, which is kind of like an ITY, and I got this at Olga's Fabric Lane here in Calgary. I made this dress last year. It was too small. It's wearable, but it's too small. I decided to cut a larger size this year, and looking at how the dress fit me, the one that was completed, I clearly needed a larger size in the front than the back. So I had the pattern reprinted in 2 larger sizes, and then I came home and I laid the old pattern on top of the new pattern, measured very carefully, measured myself every which way, looked at the old dress, took pictures, and finally decided what size to cut. And the first thing that you do is the twist. So I did the twist, and then I did the shoulders, the neck, and then basted the side seams. Put in the sleeves, rebasted the side seams, took off some fabric, moved up the twist, rebasted the side seams, and I'm still not sure. I'm not really happy with it. So all I have left to do is to decide exactly where I want the side seams to be and hem it, and I'll show it to you next week when it's done. But I'm not feeling very confident about this particular dress. Maybe that's because I have last year's dress stuck in my mind, but I am going to finish it and I'll show you next week and you can tell me what you think. I did a tiny bit of shopping online over the Black Friday weekend. I picked up a bunch of patterns and I ordered them from the States. Simplicity, Butterick, and New Look patterns. Simplicity does not sell patterns in stores in Canada. Why? Anyway, patterns were $3.99 US, and I picked up 9 patterns. Total cost for me was about $8 each Canadian per pattern. We do not have pattern sales in Canada the way that you do in the States, but honestly, I'm okay with that because I just don't want to keep on acquiring things for no reason. And I used to go to Hobby Lobby and Joann's and just buy a ton of patterns. Never use them. It was a waste of money. So this way I have to be a little bit more thoughtful. And I'm just going to really quickly go through the patterns that I picked up and what I'm thinking of. I've got some fabric ideas for a few of them. First one is New Look 6662. I have a couple of Talbots ready to wear tops like this, and I like them. This also has a nice pant pattern. This doesn't need a great deal of fabric. I have this pretty fabric that I thought would be nice for the top, and I have this Ponte, which might be nice for the pants. And I would wear that every day. Of course, this is summer stuff because it's sleeveless, but that'd be a nice summer thing to wear. Then Simplicity 9451. I like this because of the waist definition on it, and it has a little bit of draping, so it's a little bit interesting. This is for ITY or bamboo, and I have a piece of ITY I might use just to give it a try. This is some stuff that I bought at Fabric Mart a long time ago. I've always wanted to use it, so I might use this for that pattern. Simplicity 9705. Again, this one also has some waist definition because there are lots of seams on it, and it's got some big fun sleeves. And this calls for Ponte or chambray, but I have this cotton rib that behaves just like Ponte, and I thought it might be good for this pattern. New Look 6689. This one I like because of the twist on it. Now, it doesn't necessarily define your waist, but it's a little bit more interesting. It's not just another sweatshirt. And for this, I've got a couple ideas. First, I could certainly use the waffle knit fabric for this. That'd be perfect. But then I bought this fabric at Fabricland just because it was so soft, and it's a totally juvenile print, but I bought it to make a cozy winter kind of top, so I think this is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to make myself this kind of long, twisty, wear-at-home top out of this cozy, cute hedgehogs, deers, foxes, bunnies fabric. I think this fabric is supposed to be for children, but wouldn't it be nice for nights at home? Now, I don't have fabric for these particular patterns. This is Butterick 6899. Again, another twist top, so a little bit of waist definition. And this calls for silks, chalice, crepe de chine, cotton blends. I would not make the color block version. I would probably make this version. and I don't really have any fabric in mind for that. Simplicity 9706. I saw someone, a YouTuber, if I can remember her name, or her name is Grace, I can't remember the name of her channel, I'm gonna pop it down below, but she's just made this up and it was very pretty. It looked really nice, way better than I thought it would. And so I would probably make this in a solid color, and I could also use my Liberty, my cotton lawn for this. The next three patterns are all repurchases. The first is Butterick 6925, and Sunshine Dasher _ 000 suggested this pattern to me a couple of weeks ago, and I looked at it and it was very familiar. This was originally McCall's 2818, and I made this in the summer of 2015 when I first started sewing again. And I made an actual toile using muslin fabric and fitted it right and used it twice, and I don't know what happened to the pattern. I don't know if I still have the muslin pieces around, but I thought I'd give it another try because it's a really nice princess seamed top, and it's a Palmer plush pattern, so good fitting information. Thank you for reminding me of that pattern. Butterick 6848. This is one of my TNT T-shirt patterns. I've used it many times. I just wanted a fresh copy while I could get my hands on it. And Simplicity 9130. My sister wants me to make her a tunic, so I got a pattern so I could make her a tunic. She's a little bit smaller than I am, so I can't necessarily share patterns. I don't really know what I did this past week. I don't feel like I got a lot accomplished. I did get my nails done, and I think this is beautiful for sparkly holiday nails. Visited my mom a couple of times. I did this bit of sewing, but I know I'm trying to walk every day for at least 45 minutes. But I know I'm spending way too much time online. Way too much time online. So a couple of years ago, I did this internet Sabbath thing where I didn't look at any devices for one day a week, and I am going to try that this week on Sunday. No devices. I can watch TV, I can listen to the radio, I can listen to music, but I can't look at a phone, an iPad, or a computer. I'll let you know how that goes. Next week, we have the junk guys coming on Monday to get rid of a bunch of stuff from our basement and our garage, and I'm really looking forward to the basement being cleared out of some stuff that's been there for a while. We're in a bowling league, so we will be bowling on Wednesday night. In terms of sewing, I will have that dress done. I will. And I think I need to start working on the few little Christmas things that I need to make. So hopefully next week will be a very productive week. As you're aware, Friday Sews was created by and is shared by Jen of Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And every week she asks us a question, and this question is not just for us who are recording videos, it's for you too. This week's question is, are you starting holiday gifts and do you have ambitious plans? So tell us what you're thinking down below. I only have, I think, 3 things I'm planning to sew. We're not a big gift giving family. We don't have children. I don't exchange gifts with my sisters. My mom has Alzheimer's. If she needs something, we get it for her when she needs it. And my husband and I typically buy a trip for each other, and that's our gift for the holidays. So we aren't really retailers' favorite people because we don't go out and do much shopping at this time of year. I did buy myself the Advent/countdown box from Our Social Fabric, and I think what I'm going to do, because everybody's doing unboxings, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you once a week what was in my box for that week. I haven't opened today's yet, so I'll show that to you next week. I'm also not going to do Vlogmas because honestly, I don't have enough interesting things to say to record something every day. I'd rather do it once a week and have more time for sewing. I've been holding this fabric on my lap and it's so cozy. I might be prioritizing this top. And I'm assuming if I'm not on my devices on Sunday that I'll be able to make 3 things in one day. So that's what's going on around here this week and my plans for next week. As you know, I truly appreciate you watching and joining in and commenting and everything. I hope you're having a good week and I'll see you next Friday. Thanks so much for watching.